So thank you everybody for tuning in. This is the Entertainment Plug. I'm your host James, and we are live at the Agora here in Cleveland. We are with rapper Jack Bruno.
What's up? Hey.
I think like I was saying before we started, I think it's really dope. Number one, because hip hop, like in my opinion, like I just feel like it's kind of taken a nosedive like over the last 10, 15, 20 years. Like I just think a lot has changed. There's not really as much originality. People don't really have to work as hard to get into the industry anymore. I mean, a lot has changed for the good, just in the sense that people do a lot more on their own now, and they're not really dependent on labels and whatnot. But I still think that it's in a few areas, like there still is a lack of like that creativity. So I think that's where you kind of come in at, and what makes you so dope is that when we look at you, we don't see what the other stuff that's in hip hop, or I feel like we kind of get a lot of what's missing, and like the funness and just the overall excitement and just that overall vibe of what hip hop really came from. So kind of talk about, I guess, really sculpting like your image and how you wanted to present yourself with music and whatnot.
That's actually, thank you. That's a huge compliment. I would say that I think my approach, why probably, if you get that vibe, I think my approach to music is very similar to I kind of have just an attitude of like, anything goes. It's like when I'm making stuff, it's like it doesn't matter if it fits in a box. It's boring to me.
Right.
So I like just it has to entertain me, and I think the part that's cool, the thing that's sorry,
Nah, you cool.
got my whole team over here. Trying to be quiet, but it's like
it's actually cool though. Like I like the fact that everybody is here and it's that type of,
it's very real. Yeah, we just got off the plane from LA, and it's like we were out like all last night. We were like, let's take it easy. We got a show in the morning. We got a 7 a.m. flight. I'm like, no, we went out all night outdoors. But so now we're like, oh my god, we're just all over the place. But I think. But I want to go back to this question. I think with hip hop, like when it first came out, it was all about breaking rules. It was all about natural rebellion and this energy, and it's it's exciting. And it's the same thing. I grew up in punk rock bands and stuff, and that same energy is what drew me to punk rock.
Okay.
And so when I started rapping and getting into because what made me want to do it is I just had so many experiences in my life and so many things that I was like, I don't know what to say. I want to fit it into the music, and I've always loved rap, I loved hip hop. So it was like, let's do that,
But it's cool too, like in the sense that it's hip hop, but it's kind of like a fusion of kind of some of everything. So
it literally,
like the punk rock
it's almost like the less I think about it, the more authentic it is when I'm making it. Even the less filtered and the less edited that I am, it's ends up being the stuff that people feel more and that I feel more, so it's like the less I do, the more just like expression, is like the more is the best stuff. But it's definitely like those genres all like when they first came out had this energy, and like I think that's what's happening with my music in general right now is like I'm on these tours right now. I'm on tour with Lil Mosey. Next month we're going on tour with Lil Pump. And because my music it can fit in on these, it's not like on the shows it's like people are just like, I don't understand this. And people get it, but it's like it's just different enough to challenge everything.
Yeah, but it's cool though because I think in one respect, like it makes people think.
Yeah.
It makes people think. It makes people kind of really open up and listen to what it is that you have to say. But then, kind of on the same token, like there's a lot of difficulty in obviously pursuing hip hop just pursuing music in general, but pursuing
100%.
hip hop where, you know, putting the music together, trying to get music put out there and whatnot, and obviously trying to make it sell, but still trying to keep that authenticity and whatnot. Like, what are the struggles that you kind of had, you know, obviously doing this over the past few years?
I mean, I think it's about learning to like really listen to your own voice and really, I mean, to be an artist and to be like in the spotlight nowadays, you know, you really have to. You're gonna hear everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
Like everyone has their opinion of what you should be doing, or what what you shouldn't be doing, or what you should sound like, or what you should say, or this will sell, that won't sell, this will, and then it's just like 2 points. It's like people talk so much you don't even know. They don't even know what they're talking about,
Right.
and I don't even know what I'm listening to.
Right.
And I'm like, hold on, I'm just making music here, like chill out,
Right.
like. But everyone, I mean, it's funny, like people, and in hip hop too, like people are really passionate, and when people are passionate about things, if they don't like something right away, some fucking enemies,
right?
Like, but I like that shit, honestly, because it's.
I think things are changing for the better in that respect, though. Like especially with fans, because I think that people now are giving more music a chance, and they're listening to different genres and different
100%.
vibes, and it's a lot different than 20 years ago. I mean, you figure, 1995, 2000, when nobody was really giving any of the other genres a shot at all.
No, yeah, you couldn't. I mean,
or it was like if you listen to hip hop, you don't really listen to the other stuff.
Yeah, you had to actually change the channel.
Yeah.
To listen to the other genre.
Yeah.
Like that's now it's not like that.
Right.
And I think we're at this this interesting turning point, and like even the artists that I've gotten to go on tour with, like one that I really liked was was 6ix9ine, because it was like he really was not like he's a rapper, yes, but in so many aspects nothing to do with rap.
Right.
And just like a punk kid.
Yeah.
More so than a rapper, and I think that's why I think people misunderstood and was like, he's getting a reaction because that's what he wants to do. But it was like touring with him, I did some shows with Juice WRLD. Actually, I played here with Juice WRLD last year.
Okay.
And I was actually joking about this today on the way to the airport. We were listening to Juice WRLD. I was like, man, like people don't realize, but it's like the way he uses his voice is like the emo bands of like 2001.
Right.
Like it sounds like how like Taking Back Sunday and like My Chemical Romance were attacking vocals rather than everyone else in the hip hop charts. And it's like, it's so interesting. It's just literally like these weird combinations but then someone finds their sound, and it's like that's embraced now, which is cool.
What do you feel like? Not just what you bring to the genre, but what does the genre, like with you putting music out here, like what are you getting from it that obviously ultimately kind of fills your heart or kind of puts you in that place where you want to continue doing music in?
Oh, man. I just like, honestly, like for me, like when I think about it, for me personally, what makes me keep going, I love reaching like goals and shit. Like that shit's always cool to strive for more, like getting better.
Right.
But I genuinely just like, if let's say like if I set the goal to have biggest record ever, and then I did that, right?
Right.
Or whoever did that, my mind goes, well, yeah, but after that, I would just want to make another one because that's what I love to do. I love to make music, and I love to like tour. I'm just wired in a way that like getting up at 7 a.m. to fly across the country makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go play 20 minutes in Cleveland today.
Yeah.
I'm Like, let's go do it. Like, I just love it, you know. And then I think what I bring to hip hop, I think I have a unique perspective. Like, it's kind of like, I feel like it's what like Lil Pump fans are gonna grow into, you know, because I've already done that shit in my life,
Right.
you know.
Right.
I've already gone through the drug shit. I've gone to rehab, and then I had to figure out a different way.
Right.
You know, I had to figure out like for me, how am I gonna do this and still be like positive and like have a
Right.
cool life? Because like if I can inspire anyone that listens to my music to like go do something positive with their life, or like that's like every time I've gotten an experience from watching an artist like that inspires me, if I can pay that forward, like, man, that's like dream come true.
But I think that's what resonates with hip hop. Like when you think back to the 80s and the 90s, like it was people that dealt with so many struggles, or they dealt with certain things in their life, and then they were able to kind of turn that around and obviously use it to inspire somebody else. And it's good that obviously that's what it's doing for you.
100%.
And then that's what you're doing for so many other people. And I think that's why so many people like are resonating with your music. Like, just being honest, like I first caught on to your movement with Devil on My Shoulder.
Okay.
Which I thought was like super dope.
Thank
I like Smoke Perk though.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was really, really dope.
Yeah.
The new album came out today, or the mixtape came out today, which I downloaded on iTunes this morning.
Oh hell yeah.
And I think that's dope. Like I'm still listening, so I haven't even gone all the way through the album.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs.
But it's cool though, because like when you know listening to it, like I haven't gotten to a point yet where I need to skip songs, or I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling that, or I'm not feeling that.
Great. I mean, that's
which is
a
cool.
mission. That's a mission.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs on that shit. There's like 18. He hasn't skipped one. You hear that? That must be pretty fucking good, man. Shit.
Talk about in general, because you have an album that's coming like June or July or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So like, what prompted you to drop the mixtape when obviously you had the album coming in June?
You know, that was a complicated scenario to get to dropping the mixtape. And originally, actually, when we dropped it, like, because the version on Spotify came out with a couple extra songs and stuff.
Okay.
Today or yesterday. And the original version we dropped on SoundCloud like last month. And that was literally like, I called like my manager at the time, and I like, we were about to go on stage. I was on tour with Smooth Perk. We were about to go on stage in London, and I said, make sure this fucking mixtape is out by the time I get off the stage. I'm sick of waiting. Like, it's gotta come out.
Right.
And like, sometimes it's like, I think it's good to be practical with releasing music, but then sometimes you watch these artists and shit, and they're doing huge things, and like you can just tell it's like everyone's probably telling them, let's wait till January, let's wait till Q1, you know, like music business talk, like let's wait till it's a good time to drop. But then it's like sometimes when you feel like it's gotta get out there, it's just time.
Yeah.
And like that's with the mixtape, I was like, no, this has to be the first thing out here. I want that to be the first like photograph, because it was like that time period of my life.
Right.
And so I was like, that has to be out there before this other thing.
Right.
And at that point too, it was like we got into this thing where I had like 2 of them done.
Right.
I'm like, nah, this has got to get out there.
Okay. So talk differences between this mixtape, which is obviously representative of the beginning, and then the album as we get in the summer.
Yeah, I think 0001 is cool because it's like, it really was like the beginning of my career, where like it was like early last year when I was like figuring out like, well, what, you know, I just started thinking differently, like, well man, like why can't we get on these tours? Like why can't we like get the music out there? Why can't I, you know, do this? I started questioning myself. And I was like, there's no reason why not, you know? And so I started thinking bigger. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just go right now. Now's the time. And everything started moving really fast.
Right.
Like we were on tours, and a lot of that mixtape was written in like hotel rooms in Europe. I mean, sometimes like there was like a point in time I was like walking through an airport producing, literally, totally unnecessary. You know, just like workaholic type of shit. But I was literally walking through the airport on my computer, like editing drum sounds. Like what the hell? Like my friends were like, "What are you doing?" Like maybe that's just poor time management. But it was just like it was just sporadic, you know.
Right.
And it has that kind of this. It's like a collection of like a bunch of different things that were happening, and then with the new one that's called "Put Your Name on It."
Okay.
That was done the beginning of the year. We went to the studio for like a week, and then we just went to the garage after that and did all the vocals and all the details. And that was like, you know, I'd obviously written notes of song ideas and stuff, but it was like very like go into the studio and do something.
Right.
And so it was this really like more of an organized attempt, I guess. But I think, you know, like I think they're both similar in vibes. There's not like there wasn't like this I didn't really do this like crazy like I'm gonna take time and explore and, you know, do like the normal like, you know, I'm making an album thing. I just wanted it to be like another thing, you know. It's good, man. It's more than just another thing. It's good. Like it's more intense.
Yeah.
Than the first one for sure.
Okay. So I think it's definitely dope. Like I think there's so much that you're gonna bring to hip hop. I think there's so much that just music overall, the genre overall, that you're really gonna be able to deliver. And I know I spoke on the fact or just the idea of people like now giving, you know, obviously all music a chance and an opportunity, and really blending stuff together.
Yeah.
And, you know, kind of looking at the outcome. Like I've always been a big fan of, I guess, just the eclectic artist that listens to like all different types of music, whether it be alternative or punk rock or you know, emo or just whatever it is, just giving all different types of music a chance. What are, because I know this album is coming in June, or the next is coming in June. What kind of is like the outlook on, I guess, what else you have going on like for the rest of the year? Like this tour, and then your tour with Lil Pump too.
Yeah, so we're gonna like this. Put Your Name on It is kind of like the project that's gonna drop around this like Lil Pump tour. You know, that was kind of the idea of the release and shit. Which I'm really excited for that because like I think you know, I've toured with Smoke Perp and like tour with 6ix9ine, but in Europe. So this is gonna be like this first like mega like American tour. Like this is gonna be the real like crazy US tour. And like I said, I've done some dates, but like always kind of like where I'm at it super last minute, and it's like, you know, when it's like that, it's kind of unorganized. And like this, it's like it's me, Lil Skies, and Lil Pump, and it's like I'm coming in there as like the new guy,
Right.
and you know, they're obviously established headliners, so I'm just so excited. Like, this is gonna be crazy.
What's been like the most, you figure, even with you still being that new guy, it's like you really got some traction out here now. I look and I see like, you know, allhiphop.com covering you, and I see like Hypebeast covering you, and like all of these other platforms that are like huge, like in hip hop and just music in general. Like it's a good look. Like I think it's a really, really good look. Like what's been the most satisfying or gratifying piece of all of that?
There's random things, you know. I'm thinking there's just random ones that, like, I think websites like posting music is cool, but it's cool they're like in your head.
Yeah.
You know, like when you actually see like sick website, you know, like you don't get to experience it. I think like cooler experiences I've had, like probably like I would go like I did like just some LA like staples. Like there were a couple people like in like December, January that were like really hyped on the music. Like there was one got interviewed by DJ Head and Bootleg Kev.
Okay.
And that was like, I was like, wait, who was on the show before? They're like, Quavo was here earlier. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, like, and they were like, you know, hyped and shit. And I was like, sick. You know, like that was like a cool one. DJ Felly Fell was cool at Rolling Loud. And you know what? I didn't know what he looked like really. You know, like I just knew his name.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like midway through the interview, like put it together. I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, halfway through the interview, I'm like, this is a bigger deal than I thought. Like, why? You know, I better say something great. Nah, but like, that was cool. Like music business, like legend, like Whack 100 came by the studio. Because we were like, I don't know if this was gonna happen anytime soon now, but we were like, you know, we gotta get Blueface on this track, you know, and like Wack came through and he heard I Love Justin Bieber's song.
Okay.
And like, you know, he's a very like, he's not gonna hold back his opinion, but he was like, yo, this is dope. He was like, what did he say? He said something that, he was like, if, no offense, I love Post Malone. I didn't say it. He said it's like if Post Malone could really rap. And I was like, whoa, that's like crazy compliment. Like, thank you. I understand what he's saying, you know, but damn.
So
those were impressive ones.
Okay. So I think this has been really, really cool. Again, you know, just like I said when I started out, like I thoroughly appreciate you for this. Like I think it's really, really high.
Oh no, thanks for having me.
It's really, really cool for me. I'm a huge hip hop fan, and I just listen to so many different types of music, so I can appreciate the fact, or just appreciate what it is that you bring to the table. I look forward to a lot more. Kind of talk a little bit just about how and where people can find you. You know, obviously being online and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, like my you know, I'm on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that. Just Jack Bruno, and then Instagram, Jack Bruno Music. Just slide into those DMs, girls. Nah, but yeah, that's where I'm always on those sites, you know, like that's where I like go, you know.
All right, again, man, I appreciate you. This is Jack Bruno, and this has been the Entertainment Plug.